Hello students, how are you? And we have already started the chapter of digestive system and absorption in human physiology, and we have already done all these things. What is digestion? What is digestive system? Alimentary canal and accessory digestive glands, right? So what was digestion? Just quickly we will revise it. What was digestion? The food that we eat, that we eat are big molecules or macromolecules. So they need to be broken down. They need to be broken down into smaller molecules, right? Smaller molecules for what? For better absorption and assimilation, so that the body cells can absorb, right? And this is what? This is digestion. And what is a digestive system? Various organs are involved for this. For doing this, various organs are involved. And what do? They are they are specialized in structures, and various kinds of enzymes come out of them, are secreted, and so that the process of digestion can take place. And that's just what is digestive system. What is alimentary canal or gastrointestinal tract? It starts from mouth and it ends at anus. We saw the whole structure, and it contains food from the time it is eaten, digested, absorbed, assimilated, and then excreted. So we saw that the food is ingestion, digestion. We saw all these things. I'm just revising the previous class, right? Absorption, assimilation, and finally excretion, right? So from mouth till anus. Many besides these organs, what else things are helping in the digestion? Liver, gallbladder, pancreas, okay, teeth, tongue, salivary glands. Okay, so these are also helping in digestion. So they are known as accessory organs or accessory digestive glands. Then after this, what did we do? We did the buccal cavity or the mouth or buccal cavity. And we know that mouth or buccal cavity is formed by cheeks, palates, teeth, and tongue. So we just did palate. Today we'll do teeth, and then in the next lecture we'll do tongue. Okay. One important thing to remember, that mouth is lined by what? Mouth is lined by non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, right? Then we saw that if this the side face of a human, this is the tongue, then this is the palate, hard palate, and then soft palate, and then there is this uvula, right? So it is what is a palate? Is a wall or a septum that separates what? That separates oral cavity from the nasal cavity. It forms the roof of the mouth. It forms the roof of the mouth. Clear? This is the palate with the hard palate in front and the soft palate behind. We did this. It allows to chew and breathe at the same time. Then we did, it has two parts. Hard palate, it is the bony partition. It is formed by maxillae and palatine bones, and it is covered by mucous membrane that has rugs. And what is rugs? These are transverse ridges. These are what? These are transverse ridges. And what is the use of it? So as to hold the food. We did this. I'm just revising the previous class. Then we did soft palate. This is a posterior portion. It is arch shaped, muscular, lined with mucous membrane. It helps in slipping. So hard palate is helping in holding, and soft palate is helping in slipping. Then we did what is uvula. I told you that when we see any cartoon, there's this, when the cartoon opens its mouth, we can see a conical thing hanging from the back of the mouth. That is the conical process that hangs from the soft palate. And what we did, what does uvula do? It closes the nasopharynx. What does it do? It closes the nasopharynx. So you can just feel with your tongue also that anterior portion is hard, and this is the soft palate, and this is uvula. Okay, hard palate, soft palate, and uvula, and this is the tongue. So let us now see about teeth. Okay, teeth. What is the purpose of teeth? Let us first see what is the purpose of teeth. Why do we need teeth? Very easy. The purpose of teeth is what? It is so that the food can be broken down. So it's not a chemical breakdown, it is a physical breakdown of food. Okay, so what is the teeth doing? It is helping in the physical breakdown of the food. So the teeth are specialized for different animals. Different kinds of teeth are there in herbivores. Different kind of teeth are there in carnivores. Different kind of there. And humans are what? Humans are omnivores. So what are omnivores? That can eat flesh and plant. We have done in a very small classes. They are omnivores. So this is actually, we have a teeth which is actually in between what? Cutting teeth and the grinding teeth. Cutting and grinding teeth. We have something in between this. Okay, so I have just divided the teeth into various ways so that it is easy to remember. If we see on the basis of shapes, first basis I have taken is shapes, then the teeth can be either homodont or heterodont. So that whenever the word dont comes, it means it is related to teeth or some dental thing. Homo means same, hetero means different. So homo means when the teeth are of same shape. All the teeth are of same shape, like fishes and amphibians. Okay. Hetero, when the teeth are of different shapes, like human beings. You know, we all know that we have different kinds of teeth. In front we have incisors and canines, then premolars, then molars. So we exhibit a heterodont type of structure. Then the second basis that I took for the classification of teeth is according to cusp shapes. You know what are cusps? Like if you have a teeth, so this portion is known as the cusps. So quadrate means, quad means 4. So where quadrate means where the four cusps are arranged in a rectangle. Okay, I'm not going much in detail in it because we can just go in detail, which is not much needed. So there are a few things which you need to remember. So the quadrate is where the 4 cups are arranged in rectangle. Quad means 4, and this you can find in humans, like in molars. Bunodont, where the cusps are rounded. You can feel it with your teeth, where the cusps are rounded. So another example of bunodont, humans. And hypsodont, the example can be horse. Okay, H you can remember, hypsodont. So the enamel and dentine are what? Enamel and dentine are above the gum line and pulp. Okay, and this is according to the shape of the cusp. Then we'll do more. Then we'll do selenodont, lophodont, and secodont. So let us do selenodont. What is selenodont? You know, crescent. What is crescent shape? So this selenodont is crescent shaped ridges. Crescent shaped ridges. So what is this? This is actually like in which animals are this present? It is present in, right, sheep, or you can say cattle, and it is helpful for grazing. Like it is helpful for what? It is helping in grazing. So if we see the teeth, they are like something like this. Okay, so this is selenodont. Lophodont is something like this, and it is present in elephant. And secodont have sharp edges. So if this is one teeth, the other teeth is like this, and it is helpful for shearing sharp edges. And obviously it is present in animals like cats, dogs. So just a simple way of classifying the teeth. Now the third basis that I have taken is based on the attachment of the tooth to the jaw. This is a somewhat important thing. So thecodont, in the thecodont, first I'll give you the example, such as mammals and crocodiles. Okay. And what is thecodont? Thecodont is when it is embedded in the jawbone. Like if we see our teeth, this is the jawbone, right? It is embedded. It is embedded in the jawbone. So thecodont is what? When the tooth is embedded in socket. There's a socket. You can see this socket. It is embedded in socket of jawbone, right? And what is the jawbone in our case? If you want to know, there are some students who want to know more. So upper jaw and lower jaw, what is the jawbone? In the upper jaw, it is the maxilla bone, and in the lower jaw, it is the mandible bone. Okay, just for your information. When we'll do skeletal system, we'll do all these things and all these bones in detail. What is acrodont? Things which are need to be done in detail, I do them in a lot detail. Like in respiration, I did neural and chemical regulation a lot in detail. But in many of the books, it's not given so much as detail. But then I thought that, there'll be some understanding problem. So there are few things which need to be taught in detail, a little more than required, so that you get a exact structure or exact framework in your mind, and it's easy for you to solve the questions. So let us do this classification, and based on the attachment of tooth to the jaw, we did thecodont. Now we will do acrodont. So in acrodont, I told you that in fishes and amphibians, the teeth are of the same shape. So if these are the teeth of the same shape, this is the jaw. So they are not attached to any, see, they're not attached to any socket, right? So they're not attached to any socket. So the tooth is not attached to any socket. Okay. When you'll do one more thing, then you'll understand why this is very interesting. Abhi will just do it. Okay. Pleurodont. What is pleurodont? So the example is here is fishes and amphibians. What is pleurodont? Pleurodont means when the example is lizard, and if this is the socket, the tooth is something like this. Okay, so the tooth is fused with the inner side, okay, with the inner side of the jaw ridge. So what is the tooth is fused with the inner side of jaw. Okay, so these are the various classifications that you need to know. I'm doing it a little fast because it is much of a reading and learning. And based on because this chapter is really very big, if we go slow, we will take around like 10-15 days just to cover this chapter. Okay, so when the things will come, like, the absorption assimilation part, or when we're doing the structures, I'll go slow and I'll go in very much detail. So now the classification, the fourth classification is based on the number of times. You know that in our case, we have milk teeth, and then we have what? Then we have the permanent teeth, right? So we have these diphyodont condition because we have what? We have deciduous teeth or the milk teeth, and then we have the permanent teeth. So how many times it is appearing? It is appearing 2 times. So diphyodont. Okay. Now the second thing, polyphyodont. What did I tell you in fishes and amphibians? In fishes and amphibians, how on the attachment of jaw, the teeth are arranged like this. So one blow, the teeth will easily come out. Why? Because it is not attached, not in a socket, not attached with a socket. So obviously, if this tooth has fallen, now another, this is fallen. So all the teeth will fall in this way. So they have a polyphyodont structure. So they fall off and they come. They fall off and they come. This is known as a polyphyodont condition. Now, then we have this monophyodont condition, which is present in one, like whales and anteaters. Okay, so this is on the basis number of times the teeth appear, or the number of sets also, you can say number of sets. Okay, so this is about the classification of teeth. So diphyodont condition in humans. Okay, so this is this deciduous teeth I told you, then permanent teeth. So let us do about deciduous teeth. What is the dental formula? Let us do the dental formula. So the first set of teeth appear at the 6 months of age. So the first set appears at 6th month. Okay, and then it subsequently appear, and they are generally lost around 6 to 12 years. When we are like 6 years, they generally tend to fall, these deciduous teeth, and when we are 12 years, generally we have a permanent set of teeth. So the dental formula is 2102. 2102. So this dental formula is incisor, canine, premolar and molar. Okay, now we have this permanent teeth. So the permanent teeth, the dental formula is 2123. 2123. So if we see this incisor, canine, premolar and molar, if we see the deciduous condition, and if we see the permanent teeth, so in the incisors we have 8. In the deciduous, in the milk teeth, how many incisors we have? 8. 4 canines, 0 premolars and 8 molars. In permanent teeth, 8, 4, 8 and 12. How do we get this? If we divide the mouth into 4 parts, so this part is 1/4. Okay, so 2 plus 1, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Upper jaw, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, lower jaw. So this is just, so we have to do this also. So 8 plus 8, 16. Now this also 8, this also 8. So 8 plus 8, 16. So adults have 32 teeth, right? Similarly, 2102, 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5, 10, or 5 plus 5, 10. So we have 20 deciduous teeth and 32 permanent teeth. Okay, 20 deciduous teeth. Babies have 20 teeth and adults have 32 teeth. Okay, very easy. We have already done all these things when we were in smaller classes. So I have done this dental formula. So just let us see this very interesting diagram. These are the molars. Okay, these are the molars, premolars and canine and incisors, right? It was looking very interesting to me with different colors. So I just thought I'll show you this, right? So you can just see it, very, very interesting diagram. Okay, so let us move forward and let us do the structure of the teeth. As you can see, as you might be knowing, so the first part that is visible is the crown, and the second part is the root. So crown is what? Crown is the visible part, and the second part is the root that is embedded, and neck is the that's the junction where the crown and root are meeting. So what is crown? Crown is the visible part, and root is the embedded part, and what is the neck? Neck is the junction, right? Very easy. We have already done these things in our very small classes, right? So now let us study the internal parts of the tooth. So for that, let me make a good big diagram for you so that you are easily able to understand. I'll go a little fast in this because it is easy to understand. Okay, these structures are really easy to understand. There are few points which need to be learned, which I'll be telling you. So if this is the jaw and this is the tooth, so as we can see that now I said what is crown. Crown is the visible part. Neck is this part, that's the junction, and then I'll make the root. Okay, so this is the root. Since our teeth are embedded, so this is the root, right? So this is the way we draw our teeth, right? You know this. And there is an opening. And what is this part that's below? That's the root. Now let me make some other parts. So the first part that is outside is what? The white part that we see. We all know it. That's the enamel. Very good. And then what is present? Then there's this dentin, and then there is this pulp. So I am drawing this root. Okay, so this is the portion that I am drawing. There is an opening that we will label when we are doing, right? So now which part is the dentin? If we want to see which part is the dentin, the thing that I'm doing in yellow is the dentin. Okay, so this all is dentin. And the red portion inside is what? That is the pulp, where the blood vessels are present. And if there is some infection and it reaches till that, then it pains a lot. And that's what we do in root canal treatment, in which all the traces of pulp tissue are removed which are infected, okay, or which are diseased. So that's what we do in root canal treatment. So, okay. And this is what this I have colored. What I have colored dentin. And what is present now? This is the what this is what which portion? This is the pulp. And what is present in pulp, as I said, blood vessels are. So this all portion is what? This is the pulp. Okay, this all red portion is what? This is the pulp, right? So this is the structure of the tooth. Now let us label these structures. So what can we see? We can see that this is the enamel. First things first. Very nice. Then this yellow portion is what? Dentin. That's not a dirty teeth. Okay, I've just done it yellow. Don't think that that's some dirty teeth. And this is what? This is pulp. This is the pulp in pulp cavity. Okay. And this is pulp in pulp cavity. And this is what that I am going to draw with black. What is this? This is the bone. Okay, or we can say the alveolar bone. This is the bone. And what is this opening that is present? This is apical foramen. What is this? This is apical foramen. And why is this present? I said this is present because many blood vessels are present, right? So blood vessels are present and they come in and come out through these openings. Okay, so blood vessels are present through this what? Through this apical foramen. Okay, and now what else? Then there is this okay, then there is this cementum. Okay, what is cementum? The dentin of the root is covered with cementum. So now with a green color, I'll show you the cementum and then the periodontal ligament. So this is covered by a cementum. And what is the cementum doing? It is a bone-like structure which is actually was attaching. It's a cement. No, it's a cementum. It is attaching the root to what? It is attaching the root to the bone. Okay, so this is the cementum part that we can see with the green color, right? So with this green color, I have drawn what? Cementum. And what is the cementum doing? It is just attaching the dentine to the bone. And then there is this periodontal ligament. Okay, and it's helping in attaching the root again, and right, and it is made up of collagen fibers. So basically it's giving a kind of strength. So with this purple thing I am drawing, this is what? This is the periodontal ligament. Okay, this is what? This is a periodontal ligament. Okay. Okay, so this is the structure of the tooth, which is very clear. And then I'll draw two types of cells so that you just remember. I'll draw, there are odontoblasts, right? Here some odontoblasts are present, right? I'm drawing very small these. What are these? These are odontoblasts. Odontoblast. And what do these odontoblasts help in? They actually odontoblasts make the dentine. They make the dentine. Okay, so now let us do about the structure. Okay, now let us do about the structure. Let us study the internal part of tooth. So there'll be few points to remember. Remember them. Dentine is formed by, just now I told you, odontoblasts. Okay, and it consists of calcified connective tissue. Okay, and one more important thing to remember is what? That that it is mesodermal in origin. Okay, that's an important point to remember, that it is mesodermal in origin. Now let us see about enamel. Okay, let us see about enamel. Some things to remember. Now enamel is formed by what? What are the cells that form enamel? Ameloblast. Ameloblast. And when they form these cells, it is known as amelogenesis. Okay, and it consists of what? It consists of calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate and calcium carbonate. Okay, few things to remember. Enamel is harder than bone. We know this since we were very small. And one thing to remember, this is important, one thing to remember here, it is ectodermal in origin. Okay. Now what is cementum? The cementum is what? Cementum is a bone-like structure. It is a bone-like substance which is helping what? The dentine of the root is covered. So dentine of the root is covered with cementum. And then the cementum attaches to the periodontal ligament. And what is this ligament doing? This ligament is made up of collagen fibers. And this is helping in what? This is helping the root to attach to the bone. Okay, very easy to understand. Few things to remember: odontoblast, mesodermal, ameloblast, ectodermal. Okay, just read all these things. Then we came to the pulp cavity. Remember, so pulp cavity is what? It has pulp. And what is pulp? Pulp is a connective tissue. And what does this connective tissue has? This connective tissue has blood vessels and nerve supply. And that's why when the infection reaches to the pulp, it pains a lot because of this nerve supply. Okay, and then there are lymphatic vessels also to fight off the germs. Okay, then we have this root canals. What is the root canal? It has an opening. And what is that? The name of the opening? Apical foramen. Okay, understood all these things. And from this opening, all these things, nerve vessel, all these things are entering. Okay, so very easy to understand all these things, but important. I'm going a little fast. If you have seen my previous videos, you might be knowing that I teach very slowly. But in this, I'm going a little fast because these are, as per your understanding, as per your age, these things are a little easy to understand. So now this is, I just wanted to show you in this diagram what odontoblasts and amyloblasts. See, this is the dentine, odontoblast giving rise to dentine, and ameloblast giving rise to, see this, this you can see this green colored thing. Okay, this thing, this is odontoblast, and ameloblast, okay, that is giving rise to this enamel. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you this, that odontoblast is giving rise to dentine and ameloblast to enamel. So this is one more very interesting diagram. There is this forming dentine by the odontoblast, and ameloblast is forming enamel. Okay, so I thought it's an interesting diagram to see. You can just have a look. Odontoblast, you know, you can see this odontoblast and ameloblast. Okay, so now let us move forward to tongue, right? Tongue. What we'll do some you know, just few words in tongue. Then we'll do the taste buds, and I'll tell you in taste buds what are the important points to remember in taste buds, because there are few questions that are favorites of the question setter, right? So we all know that tongue forms the floor of the oral cavity, and it is composed of skeletal muscle covered with mucous membrane. You can control our tongue. It's not as if, you know, the food comes and we're not able to control it and it's going here and there. No, we are controlling the food with our tongue, right? And what is the tongue doing? It is shaping the food into a bolus. What is a bolus? It is a rounded mass of food. By now you must be knowing it. Bolus is a, I have already told you, even rounded mass of food, and from the mouth this bolus goes to the esophagus by the peristaltic movement, and to the stomach. I discussed this in my first lecture of digestion and absorption. And in the stomach also it is known as bolus, and by the time it goes out through the pyloric sphincter into the intestine, it is known as, from the intestine it is known as chyme. So we will already do this when we'll go proceed in the chapter. So now let us do few things, few words that are given. What is lingual frenulum? It is a, on the under surface of the tongue. On the under surface of tongue, the tongue is attached, right? If it is not attached, what will happen? It can go backwards, it can go sideways. So that attachment is known as lingual frenulum. What is sulcus terminalis? That's a V-shaped structure that actually divides the it divides the tongue into what? Into anterior and posterior portions. Okay, into anterior and posterior. It is V-shaped. So if you're not able to understand, you can just think that if this is the tongue, and then this is the sulcus terminalis. What is the foramen caecum? It is this, the median depression. The median depression. Okay, so these are few words that you should know. And it is a median depression. It is dividing what? It is dividing tongue into what? Into symmetrical halves. Okay, easy to understand. Lingual frenulum, sulcus terminalis, you know, terminating, terminalis, anterior and posterior portions, foramen caecum, and then papillae. What are these papillae? Papillae are some projections. Okay, these are what? These are projections, or you can say ridges, and these projections are doing what? These projections are basically, these projections have taste buds. First of all, they have taste, but they're increasing the surface area, right? They're increasing the surface area, and they have taste buds, right? So now what we'll do about these taste buds? So papillae are what? Papillae are these projections on nipple-shaped projections. And where are these present? They are present on the upper surface Okay, they are present on the upper surface. You can feel it, and they are projections of what? When we'll do the histology, you will understand they are projections of lamina. They are projections of the lamina propria. Okay, and they are covered with what? They are covered with the stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so they are covered by stratified squamous epithelium. They are present on upper surface, have taste buds and increase surface area. So now let us do the taste buds. What are taste buds? Taste buds, as you can, from the word itself, it is understood what is a taste bud. It is helping in the taste. So basically what we have to do is, in these taste buds, we have to do the different types of taste buds. So we'll be doing circumvallate, fungiform, foliate, and filiform. Right. So suppose this is the tongue, right? This is the tongue, and you remember what is this? Sulcus terminalis, right? Foramen caecum, right? So now I will be showing you the different taste buds. First of all, let us do what is this circumvallate. Circumvallate. Whenever we see a word which we are not able to understand, try to read it again and again. Circumvallate, right? It is a wall-like. Circumference, circumvallate, vallate, wall-like. Okay. So where is it present? It is present on the behind, and they are large, but they are less. Okay, they are like this present. So the first thing you have to remember, they are large, right? And they are less in number. How many? 8 to 12 in number. So these are what? These are circumvallate, or in some books it's just given vallate. Okay, now let us do the second one, that is the fungi form. Okay, fungi form. So what is fungi form? Let us take a different color to show it. So the fungi form, as you can, fungi, it's mushroom like. Okay, it's mushroom like, and it is pinkish in color. Why I'm telling you the color? Because the filiform is whitish in color. Okay, fungiform is pinkish in color, and taste buds are present on this. Taste buds are present on the fungiform. Okay, these are the few things that you have to remember. And then we'll do the foliate and the filiform. What are the foliate? Then this is the foliate. Okay, what foliate means? Leaf-like papillae. Leaf foliate, leaf-like papillae. Okay, and they are present. Oh, I did not draw the fungiform. Fungiform are like, if you see a microscopic, no, they are here, but in reality they are actually like fungiform. So this becomes the fungiform. Okay, and the foliate. So let me take a different color and show you the foliate. Okay, they are the foliate or leaf-like, and filiform are whitish, and they are many. They are many, and they form the front 2/3 of the tooth. Okay, so this is the okay. So these are filiform. Filiform are responsible for the sensation of touch, and they form these are filiform, and they form anterior 2/3. They are present in anterior 2/3, and they are whitish in color, and they have no taste buds. They have no taste buds. Okay, please remember it. And they are white in color. They are responsible for the sensation of touch. So these are the 4 that we did. First we did circumvallate, filiform, thread-like. Okay, they are what? Filiform are thread-like, circumvallate, wall-like, 8 to 12. Okay, fungiform, mushroom-like, foliate, leaf-like. Okay, and in filiform, white, and most important thing, no taste buds. Please remember this point, guys. Okay, so this is about tongue, and then let us come to pharynx. Okay, let us come to pharynx and tonsils, and let us stop for now after doing pharynx and tonsils, and then I'll start with esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. So what is pharynx? We already did pharynx in what? We already did pharynx in respiration. Let us once again do it. No harm. So when the food is swallowed, where does it go? It passes from the mouth to the pharynx. And what is pharynx? What is the shape? And pharynx is responsible for both food and air. Remember, if you have studied respiration, you might be knowing that it is responsible for both food and air. It is what? It is a funnel-shaped tube. It is composed of skeletal muscle. It is divided into 3 parts: nasopharynx, oesopharynx, and laryngopharynx. Right? So nasopharynx we did is present if we draw this structure side view. So this is the tongue, palate, and this is the cavity, and here we have those tubes, you know, trachea and esophagus. So these are the internal nares, right? This is the external nares, these are the internal nares. And this area has what? This area has, this is what? This is nasopharynx, where the internal nares open. And then where the buccal cavity opens is what? Oropharynx. Very easy to remember. And then what is this here? It is laryngopharynx. Now you understand where are these 3 things present. Okay, so nasopharynx, it is, let us do about something about nasopharynx. So nasopharynx is covered by what? Nasopharynx is present where the internal nares open. Present where internal nares open. Okay, got the point? One more thing, it is lined with ciliated, columnar, pseudo-stratified epithelium. Okay, ciliated, columnar, pseudo-stratified epithelium. And then let us do about oropharynx. Oropharynx, where is oropharynx present? Where the buccal cavity opens. Okay, it is present where buccal cavity opens. And one more thing about nasopharynx, it helps only in respiration. Okay, it helps only in respiration. And oropharynx is present where buccal cavity opens. And what else? What is it lined with? If we did for nasopharynx, we should do for oropharynx, or else it will feel bad. It is lined with non-keratinized squamous epithelium. Non-keratinized squamous epithelium. Generally, I write NK for non-keratinized. If you follow my lectures, you will my acronyms. You know, there is a certain style of every teacher. So laryngopharynx is present where it is opposite of trachea. As you can see, I have drawn the exact coordinates. It is lined with what? It is lined with non-keratinized squamous, no, squamous stratified epithelium, and laryngopharynx and oropharynx help in respiration and digestion both, and that is why we do it in pharynx in both the chapters. Now you understand why we do both the chapters. We have already done vocal cords, so no need of doing vocal cords again here. We have already done that in a lot of detail. So this structure will make you very clear. So this is the tongue, this is the hard palate, this is the nasal cavity. Can you see these meatuses that we talked about in respiration? This is the larynx, trachea, and now just see nasopharynx where the internal nares are opening. Okay, this is the nasal cavity, so internal nares are opening. This is the nasopharynx where the buccal cavity is opening, oropharynx, and this is the hypopharynx or laryngopharynx, right? So now let us do something about tonsils. Let us do something about tonsils. What are tonsils? Whenever we are doing pharynx, we should do tonsils. There are a few points to remember in tonsils. They are collections of what? These are collections of lymphatic tissue. These are collections of lymphatic tissue within the pharynx. Okay. They help in fighting infections because these are lymphatic tissues, right? So these contains what? They contain T cells, B cells, and macrophages for fighting of the infections. And let us write this also. They have an important role in fighting infections. Okay, and since they are fighting infections, we can also say that they are the first line of defense against what pathogens entering where? Nasopharynx and oropharynx. Okay, few things we should write so that we remember. Now let us see the tonsils. Yeah, these are the tonsils, but first I'll draw and then tell you. So let me draw. So if we see that there is this open mouth, okay, this is this open mouth, okay. Right, we are drawing an open mouth with this upper lips, okay, and lower lips. Very nice understanding. And this is the tongue. Good. And this is the uvula. Now let us take different color and draw it. So first let us see what is this present here. One tonsil is here. These are known as adenoids. Okay. Now what are these two doing here? These are palatine tonsils. Okay, these are what? Palatine, 2 in number. And then lingual. Okay, lingual tonsil. You can write tonsil. Don't write with the green, you'll get confused. Lingual tonsil. And what else? There was one more I forgot. Adenoid, yeah, tubal. That's what I said. Where is the one more gone? So there is this tubal. So this is this tubal tonsil, which is also 2 in number. So now one very interesting thing. Can you see that these are arranged in a ring? right? Ringa roses, full of roses. So this ring is what? This ring is Waldeyer's ring, since it's arranged in a ring. Waldeyer's ring. Okay, so now let us just see few things about these tonsils. These are adenoid, tubal, palatine, and lingual. So okay, I'll just add a page and then we'll study further about tonsils. So let us see something about lingual tonsils. What are those lingual? Remember on the tongue I drew lingual tonsil. So these are what these, see, when I drew the lingual tonsil, this was the tongue and I drew the lingual tonsil here, right? Here. So this is the tongue. So remember just now the diagram, lingual tonsil. Just see this diagram and put it in your mind. Then I'll move forward. Draw it in your copy, in whatever copy you're taking notes, draw it. Okay, so now let us see about lingual tonsil. These are what few points. These are numerous lymphoid nodules. These are numerous lymphoid nodules which are located within the submucosa of the anterior or the posterior the posterior third of the tongue. If you want, you can write these points in your copy, or you can take a screenshot and take print out, whatever. And they are responsible for the irregular appearance of the tongue. Okay, they are responsible for irregular appearance of the posterior tongue surface. Okay, and they form inferior part of the ring, and they form inferior part of, not very difficult points. Okay, what I have drawn, I'm just writing them so that you can understand. Now, very important point from exam point of view, they are covered by non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. If you do all the points that I'm telling you, no, I don't think the questions can be asked. I'm not saying that questions cannot be asked, but generally I don't think they'll ask questions out of what I am teaching. Okay, so now let us see what is the other one. The other one is that was forming the roof of the nasopharynx, adenoid. I always forget this name, you know, adenoid. So adenoid, it forms the roof of nasopharynx. And what else can be? Yeah, it is covered with what? It is covered with ciliated pseudo stratified epithelium. Wherever respiration, nasopharynx, the first time where the air is going inside, so obviously it will be ciliated. Nothing much difficult. Okay, now let us change color and do about tubal. It is present where? So it is like I drew this tubal tonsils. No, so suppose these are the Eustachian tubes, so these are the tubal tonsils. Okay, so generally everywhere this will be there, and you'll say that ma'am has not told me. So they are located around the opening of Eustachian tubes, okay, of ear canal. And in the lateral, because you saw they are present in the lateral sides, in the lateral wall of nasopharynx. So this is the, if you are following my lectures, you will be knowing that I'm very particular in teaching two things whenever we are doing structures. One is the coordinate. Coordinate means where they are present, exact. I always give you the exact coordinates. I'm very particular about it. They are aligned with what? Because if you know these two things, no, even if a question comes which you have not done, but then also these two things make you understand the structure very nicely. What is it doing? So you can actually get an idea what the question is asking. So these two things I think you should know whenever you are doing a structure. So we were doing tubal tonsils. So now the next point, they form the lateral aspect of Waldeyer's ring. Okay, lateral aspect of Waldeyer's ring, and they are also lined by ciliated, pseudo stratified epithelium. Okay, so not right. And now let us just do but add one more page, and then we'll do about what? We'll do about palatine tonsils. Remember palatine tonsils, and they are normally called tonsils. When we say na tonsils ho gaya, normally called tonsils. So we are talking about palatine tonsils, and they are located within the tonsillar bed of the lateral oropharynx wall. Okay, you saw the structure I drew, palatine tonsils like this and this. Remember, there was this tongue and there was this uvula, and then here I drew palatine tonsils, right? Remember, those were the palatine tonsils. And they are also the lateral aspects of, Waldeyer ring. Okay, and now one more thing we'll just do, we'll do what is tonsillitis. What is tonsillitis? It is inflammation of what? This is inflammation of palatine tonsils. Inflammation of palatine tonsils, and generally by viral infections. Generally by viral infections, but in 1/3 cases it is what? It is bacterial infection also. And what happens? There is difficulty in swallowing. So we are done with tonsils and pharynx and teeth, and let's just see. So this is the tonsils that we did. These are the lymphatic aggregations observed in the pharyngeal region. These produce lymphocytes and help in defense mechanism. Then we did the Waldeyer ring. So these are the palatine tonsils that I drew. This is the lingual tonsil. This is the pharyngeal tonsil. Pharyngeal tonsils is what? Adenoid. Generally, we use pharyngeal tonsils in case they get swelled. In case they get swelled, then, or enlarged. In case they get enlarged, then they are known as adenoids. But in your case, I have seen in books using pharyngeal and adenoid tonsils alternatively, right? And then this is the tubal tonsil. These are the tubal tonsils that are present on opposite sides of the eustachian. Since it's a side view, so one, but it is two. Okay, so we are done. We did all this. You can just see what we did. Okay, so this was a very, today we did teeth, and we started with digestion and did all those. Then we did buccal cavity revision, mouth or buccal cavity, and then we did palate and just a revision. Then we did teeth and pharynx. Okay, so it was a fun session, a little long, but yes, this chapter is big, and we also did tonsils. So this chapter is big, so we have to go a little fast or else it will take a lot of time. So, okay. So as of now, bye guys, and please study hard and have fun. Okay. Bye.